In this video, we'll cover how to use the Template Builder, which is a new tool that replaces the SnapPlus V2 rotation wizard as an easy and efficient way to add crops and nutrient applications to multiple fields without having to duplicate your data entry. We'll start today on the management page. In the first part of this tutorial, I'll show you how to work with templates from the management page field view. This is a good way to get started. In the second part of the tutorial, we'll go into some of the detailed controls that are available in the Template Builder tab and illustrate how to use it to apply crops and applications to multiple fields in one process. Here in the field view, we can see that I have some crops set up already on field 1. I also have some nutrient applications that we can review by selecting a specific crop and opening the nutrient applications menu. The first way to work with templates is if you already have a sequence of crops or a rotation set up on your field, and you might like to save that sequence of crops and use it on another field that has a similar type of rotation. We can select the Management Templates button to see our options to get started. In this menu, we have 3 different ways to save templates in our current field. We can save the specific crop to a template, which means that I would save the selected crop and nutrient applications. That would look like saving a template that consists of a single year of corn silage with these yield and tillage details, in addition to the nutrient applications that are planned to go on that corn silage. That would be saving a crop to template. The second option we have is save field to template. That would save every crop and nutrient application currently on this field, whether it is part of our set rotation or not, as a template that we can reuse. The third option available in this menu is to save the rotation to template. In our example, the rotation is set from 2023 to 2027, and we know that because those crops are surrounded by the black outline. Saving the rotation to template, again, would save any crops that are part of the defined rotation and their nutrient applications in a format that we can use and apply to another field in a future step. Let's start by saving this crop to a template. I'll be saving my corn silage crop with these nutrient applications. When I click this button, I have the option to name my template. I'll call it corn silage and click Save. Now that I've saved my corn silage crop to a template, let's practice adding that template to another field. I can advance to field 3, select Management Templates, and add template to field. Here I see a list of all of the templates I currently have saved on this farm. I'll select corn silage, and I see next a pop-up that allows me to preview the changes I'm about to make before they're saved to this field. This is a good opportunity to make sure that the crop you're adding is appearing in the appropriate year and that your nutrient applications are looking as expected. If you need to make any changes, you can access controls with the buttons at the top of the pop-up in order to alter this template in a way that suits this field. Once you're satisfied with the details, you can save this template to the field by clicking Apply Template. After we apply template, the page loads, and we see that the corn silage crop has been added to field 3 along with the nutrient applications that were planned. Next, let's take a look at what it looks like to save and apply an entire rotation that has multiple crops and multiple nutrient applications. We'll head back to field 1. For this example, I'd like to save this entire rotation as a template. That consists of 2 corn silage years and 3 alfalfa years. To do that, I'll click Management Templates and Save Rotation to Template. I'll have the opportunity to give my template a name. After providing a name for your template, you can click Save. Similar to applying a single crop template, we can now go and apply this entire rotation to another field. After you've selected the field in question, select Management Templates, Add Template to Field, and pick the template you'd like to add. In this example, you can see that I'm adding multiple crops with nutrient applications to this field. After reviewing that these details look correct, I can click Apply Template. Now we can see that all 5 years of crops and their nutrient applications have been added to this field. Finally, I'd like to show how you can use Management Templates here on the Field View tab in order to quickly add future years on a field that already has some crops planned. In In the first two examples we've already done in this video, we were working with fields that didn't yet have any crops added. Template Builder is also a great way to modify and add additional years to fields that already have a crop history. In this example, we'll head to field 2. In field 2, I have a rotation with corn, soybeans, and winter wheat. Let's imagine that I'd like to plan out the next couple years on this field with a similar rotation. To do that, I can save this rotation along with the nutrient applications as a template and then apply them into the future so that I get my future crop years planned out. I'll click Management Templates and Save Rotation to Template. After providing a name, I'll select the last year in my sequence and select Management Templates. I selected the last year in my sequence because I'd like to add crops into the future after the late summer fall season of 2026. I click Add Template to Field and pick the template I just made. Here's where we have an opportunity to review and make sure that the details are looking as we expect. I can see that I need to change the start year in this case because I'm overwriting some data on this field that I don't want to. SnapPlus gives me an indication that this is happening with a reminder at the top, letting you know that your current settings will overwrite existing crop data on the field. When you're in this preview mode, it means that you haven't yet saved these changes, so you still have time to make alterations until the data is correct. In this case, I'll click Set Start Year, and I'll choose the option to apply to the end of sequence. This will add my template to the end of whatever crop sequence is currently on this field. That's exactly what I want in this situation. After I clicked Apply to End of Sequence, we can see that I have my original corn, soybean, and wheat crops that were on this field, and now I've added an additional corn, soybean, and wheat crop in the years that come after it. Once I'm satisfied that this data looks correct, I'll click Apply Template. In this next part of the tutorial, I'll go through how to use the Template Builder tab and show you some of the different options available to increase your efficiency when using this tool to apply crops and nutrient applications to multiple fields in one process. To begin, let's review what I have on field 1. On field 1, I have corn and soybean planned in 4 years from 2023 to 2026. In total, I have 4 different fields that are part of this plan, but none of my other fields currently have crops. If I wanted to start with the crops that are currently planned on field 1 as my template and add them to my other fields, I would begin by saving this as a management template. After saving the template, let's review how it looks in the Template Builder tab. The Template Builder tab has a drop-down menu that allows you to review all of the templates that you currently have saved. If you had rotations saved in your SnapPlus version 2 database that you imported to SnapPlus version 3, you should see those here in addition to any that you've made in version 3. In this example, you can see I have my 4 years of corn and soybeans that have been saved. I also have a number of other controls and options available here that I can customize for this template. For example, I can edit the name of my template by clicking on the pencil button here and updating the name as I need to. Once I'm finished, I can click the checkbox to confirm my changes. If you make a mistake and want to start over, you also have the option to delete the template with this button. Additional things that you can customize about your templates are the contour and filter area settings. Under the contour menu, you can select if this field is worked on the contour or with strip cropping. In the filter area drop-down menu, you can select if there are any designed in-field or edge-of-field filter areas. Please review the SnapPlus definitions of these practices on our wiki. Additional options that you have on the Template Builder tab are Cycle Template. Cycle Template will move the cycle through the crop years in your rotation if you'd like to have a different one at the beginning. For example, if I want my template to start with soybeans instead of corn, I can click Cycle Template and then soybeans become the first crop in my template. If I check the Use as Rotation checkbox, anytime I apply this template to a field, SnapPlus will automatically adjust the rotation settings to be consistent with this template. If I want to try to insert crops into an existing rotation, I can use the Fit to Existing Rotation checkbox. In this case, SnapPlus will attempt to take the template that you're applying and insert those crops, expanding the existing rotation settings on that field to fit. Finally, you can see we have a number of rotations here. This would be the number of times that the specific sequence is repeated when it's applied to the field. For example, if I'd like to add 8 crop years instead of 4, I could select number of rotations 2, and SnapPlus would multiply this rotation by 2, adding a total of 8 years to my field. You also have the ability to modify any of the crops and nutrient applications that are part of your template on the Template Builder tab. You'll notice that the controls look very similar to the controls that are available in the field view. For example, I have buttons that allow me to add new crops in different years and at different parts of the sequence, just like I would on the field view. I also have options to duplicate crops, which duplicates not only the crop details, but my nutrient application info also. On the right side of my screen, I'm viewing the nutrient applications for my April-May soybeans that come in the first year of my template. I can also alter any details about these nutrient applications or add additional nutrient applications using these controls at the top. Once you've customized your template to be consistent with what you like, you can apply this template to multiple fields at once using the Use Template button. When you click the Use Template button, a pop-up appears that shows you the list of all of the fields on your farm that are currently active. A nice option here is you can also use groups or sub-farms if you're working on a specific set of fields within your plan and you've organized them according to one of those 2 labels. In my case, I know I'd like to apply this template to fields 2, 3, and 4. I select those fields by clicking them on the left-hand side, and I can tell that they've been selected because they move to the right side under Selected Fields. After I've selected all of the fields that will receive this template, I'll click Summary Preview. The Summary Preview is a chance for you to review the changes that are about to go out for these fields where you're applying the template. At the very top, we can see a reminder of the different crops that are part of this template in each of the years. In the middle, we can see options for customizing when the template is applied in terms of the start year, and also have some easy controls if we know that we want this template to be applied at the very beginning of the existing crop sequence on the field, at the very end, or in a specific year that we can select from this drop-down menu. In my case, I'd like all of these to start in 2025, so I'll change the start year to 2025. Down below, I can see one row for every field that I'm currently applying this template to. You can customize these rows one by one. For example, it might be that on field 2, you plan to start with the corn year instead of the soybeans year. So you can select corn grain number 2 as the start year for this particular field. Field 3 and Field 4 will start with the soybeans in year 2025. Here you also have opportunities to set on a field-by-field basis the number of rotations or repeats of this particular sequence, and other options that we have already reviewed on the Template Builder tab. SnapPlus gives you a green check mark on this right side column for all of the fields where applying this current template can be completed without errors. If there is a potential error, such as a conflict in tillage or other cropping practice, you'll see a red X here, and clicking on it will give you an opportunity to review the problem and correct it as needed. If you'd like a further preview of exactly what will happen on these fields before you apply this template, you can select the field in question and then go to Detailed Preview. This opens up all of the crops that are planned on the specific field that you had selected. If there were existing crops, you would see those with a lock symbol to show that those are not the crops that you're currently editing. In this case, you can see that I have my 4 crops that are starting in 2025 on this particular field. If I need to make any changes, I can do so with the settings at the top or return to the summary. Once you're satisfied that the details look correct, you can apply this template to all fields that are valid with the green check mark by clicking this button. That will go ahead and apply the template following your specifications to all of the valid fields. Let's go take a look at field 4. If we go back to the field view and go to field 4, we can now see that we've added the crops from our template and the nutrient applications. If you're planning several fields that have similar rotations, using the template builder in this way can be an efficient way to add crops and nutrient applications across many fields at once, saving you time and reducing the amount of data entry. One other thing that's helpful to know is that you can also use a template builder to insert crops into an existing sequence, such as adding a cover crop into part of your plan where you didn't have one before. Let's do a quick example here. If I go to my template builder, I can have a template that's called cover crop only. This is a late summer fall cover crop that is planted in October and it overwinters. A good example of this would be something like winter rye. Let's say that I'd like to insert this into my crop sequence on a couple of the fields that we just planned. I can click Use Template and select fields 3 and 4 to apply this cover crop. Next, let's go to the preview. I need to review exactly where this cover crop goes, so I'm going to go ahead and do a detailed preview right away on field 3. With the current settings, this cover crop is being inserted after the 2026 corn grain. It comes before the soybean crop in 2027. You can see in this example that I'm not deleting or overwriting any data. I'm simply inserting this cover crop between the corn grain and the soybeans here, which is exactly what I want. I'll go ahead and do the preview on field 4 to confirm that that also looks as I expect it to. Since they have the same sequence, it looks good. Once I'm satisfied that these both look good, I can click Apply Template to Field and insert that cover crop into the crop sequence. Now if we go back and review field 4, we can see that our cover crop has been added here just after the 2026 corn grain. Thanks for watching this video about how to use the template builder in SnapPlus version 3.